A big upset over Liquid in the opening round, and choosing to start things off on Haven with a new comp, the Waylay and the Neon for DRX, and they're looking to attack mid early.
Looks like they're already flirting that way. With Flashback, the first to contact. Already swinging out onto the side. You've got Utility dumped. Mata in a really tough spot. He will be the first to fall.
Really like this approach from DRX with this flank as well, coming into A. Freeing still on low HP, and now that Scuba has dealt with him, now the post plant might get a little bit more awkward. All of a sudden you have to worry about your flanks if you're DRX, but they've got 3 players stuck on site.
Remember, Scuba was a stud for NRG in their last matchup, but this time it's Bane who's lighting up the kill feed. Psalm falls, and all of a sudden this attempt, the bite behind this retakes gets lighter and lighter, and they continue to crumble. Just Scuba and Brock left. 2 most recent additions to the roster, forced to try to win this pistol out for the number 2 seed from Americas. Brock, too many targets to choose from. Scuba will find one left in 1v2. Mako weak. Time falling short. That dart's going to arrive a little bit late. If Scuba can get half, maybe there's a shot, but no. DRX will walk away with the pistol.
Bane, a guy who hadn't even played with DRX at all in Stage 2, comes in as a major surprise for the roster, for everyone that was watching Pacific. And yet, DRX win out in that opening series with him in the lineup, and now it's him picking up 3 kills in the pistol here to set his team up for success.
Yeah, Christy, you and I were talking about this prior to the match starting, and it really feels like DRX kind of has to win on Haven to get a shot at this. This is a great start.
I mean, when you look at Corrode and Lotus being just straight up NRG's 2 best maps, this is very much a must-win for them. Although now that means converting cleanly on a anti-eco round where there's this really crazy Viper wall that's been thrown down into mid. It can threaten these walkouts of B out of garage, so I think DRX putting a lot of resources in now. This drone to make sure no one stepped up behind that. They're also leaving Freeing in that space, although NRG are stacked pretty heavily towards C, which is where the finish will be for DRX.
All huddling down C now. Again, Utility dumped out onto the site. DRX in firm control of the space, and the kill feed suggests the same.
Yeah, the triple Guardian purchase for DRX just absolutely torching NRG in this round. And I think now's a good time to talk a little bit about the comp for DRX, because this is unique, you know, the Neon Waylay coming in here on Haven. But I think the Waylay and the Neon give so much creativity for DRX to get into sites. You can already see it in these first 2 rounds, especially the verticality that Hyunmin's going to be able to access with the Waylay. You saw in those B execs, he can jump up on top of site, while the dive into backside is coming in so quickly with the Neon. And you're going to see the same thing on these C execs with dashes, double dashes up onto platform or up onto default. Same thing with the A site. I think it's going to be really difficult for NRG's anchors to survive, and that's going to be the challenge for them with the double smokes comp. How can they use these smokes to just stay alive for the rotates to come in from their teammates?
Got an Odin already online for Brock.
He's been doing this even in their last series, saving up, making sure it can get online early in these games.
Freeing's already tagged down to what, 17 HP?
There's a funky smoke as well that gives Mata a little bit of a peek, but it's not necessarily ready for Freeing to be up in that smoke.
Yeah, there's danger in that. Tries to spam, doesn't connect, and so he moves on. But the trap lies in wait. Mako, meanwhile, backside, besting the opposing Omen. And DRX lighted up once more.
That was mental, Doug. The double TP is on site from Mako. This guy calling an absolutely ballistic round. You think about the Waylay and the Neon and how much activity you can get on these execs. The fact that Mako is the one to be jumping in back here, and then Ethan just teleports straight into him. So already
look forward into the 4th round. You've got an Outlaw in the hands of Freeing, 3-0. The way of DRX, the bonus was borderline flawless. And NRG have a number of problems that they need to solve, and they need to do so relatively quickly.
That initial hold is going to be a big deal for NRG. I think just figuring out if they can actually stop DRX from breaching through these choke points. And I think the early conditioning from DRX with a couple of B hits might end up pulling more members of NRG onto the B site to try and hold against this.
Yeah, Mata's already rotating that way.
Exactly, and that can free up space onto the A site, where currently it is just going to be Brock, but I think the value This Viper Orb right there is so high for just bringing rotates in, especially with that quick movement out of the Neon.
Mata gets tagged by the Paranoia. Women dashes out onto the site, and that's already another flawless double dive hit. I mean,
but this is where I think compositionally DRX just hit a gold mine up against NRG, who are playing this old school style Viper composition. This Viper comp is all about flooding back into the site.
Right.
And as you can see right here, they get a couple of kills. But the fact is, the speed at which Neon and Waylay can get into backside means the flood never comes in, because DRX instantly have full control of a site, which in previous metas you'd never be able to accomplish.
I think a lot of this, you know, as we were just talking about, there's that Viper Orb that just gets disrespected.
Yeah.
When you've got Waylay dashing over the top of it and, you know, fully diving behind the lines.
I think the trick now with that Viper Orb is I need to start seeing NRG players playing inside of it. They need to allow the Waylay and Neon to get past them and then find timings to punch the back line as they scale in, thinking the space is clear.
That's one of the things they'll have to solve. Another attempt at solving this bit of a mess is Mata's got an op online round 5.
I do like that. Take these longer fights. Of course, that op only going to be so meaningful if DRX plays slower rounds, which, as you can see, isn't really the vibe I'm getting from them.
No. Doesn't feel like it's been part of their game plan.
Yeah, so the other solution is you try to play full retake and, you know, use the smokes like this one into backside to threaten getting back in quickly. But this is going to be really hard again with that operator that's now been chucked over to Psalm's hands.
Yeah, no real ultimates, to speak of on the side of the defense. So they're waiting for just the right moment to strike. Utility goes out. The dive through from Mata. Tucking into the orb. Finding the kill. Make that 2. Gets online with 3. Graffiti is his for the taking, as is the site for NRG.
That was absolutely gorgeous for Mata. Mako, the sole survivor here, does end up taking Mata down at the end of it, but NRG will get there first here up against DRX.
So what was the difference there? What did you see that was so drastically different from what we had seen the first 4 rounds?
I mean, 2 things here. First of all, NRG just full bail out of the site. They decide to play full retake. They don't want to deal with the Waylay ult at all.
Sure.
And then it's Mata here, that quick transfer onto the second player. And this is what I'm so impressed by with Mata consistently. This is why he's the ace king of Americas. 10 aces in his rookie year. No one's ever done that before in Valorant history. But he is so quick on transfers and seeing that pathway through these very complicated rounds. There he comes flying out of heaven, sliding in, playing off his stun. And if he's playing like that, these retakes are going to work, Doug.
Something he's going to have to continue to do. Once again, Freeing taking this cheeky little angle into a short.
Yeah, but he's beating the smoke that NRG are throwing as a bit of a default. That one we saw Mata peek over just a few rounds ago. And I think by dominating this A main space, it frees up the rest of the map for DRX to poke into a very weak C side where it's really just Psalm posted along with the op.
I mean, Brock is within striking distance, I suppose, and yeah, there's a little strength to this C. I think the question is, where did DRX decide to go here?
Yeah, this is interesting calling from the DRX camp. After so many quick rounds, this time it's slowing it down. It's a bit of a mid-test. Now a drone doesn't find anything.
They're going back B.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, it's always when Freeing is A short, that's when they're popping into the B site, and this is no different.
I think one big difference here is remember the ults that they have at their disposal on the defense.
Yeah. Really good retake ults, even denying the plant here with Hunter's Fury.
Yeah, Brock is already set up and spawned to do just that. So tap of the spike leads to the ult committed.
30 seconds left.
A little fancy footwork will keep them alive, but will buy a little bit of time.
Ooh, NRG are a bit scattered, though. Now this Paranoia not going to be available in the retake, and Flashback is still fighting up.
Scuba has his ult. Flashback is in trouble. There's no real easy way out of this. You kind of have to take your heels in and try to take the fight. Meanwhile, the ult in exchange to try to clear out the lockdown will succeed. Winman pushing the pace, looking to fight forward, stunned up, forced to take another one, and falls at the hands of it. Meanwhile, now Bane and Mako, 2 left standing side by side. And now it's just Mako in a 1v3. Brock sticking the defuse. We'll get it all the way there as NRG find a thread to pull on, and they continue to push where it hurts.
Yeah, it's just these full retakes. And I think in there you saw where a situation where NRG don't have all the utility in the world to fight with, but very good moment-to-moment calling out of Ethan. First of all, they deal with that lurk, right? The timeout they called previously was all to deal with those lurks. But then NRG were set up. They're rotating 3 players over towards C-Link to start the rotate in. As soon as they heard flashback fight up into A-Link, 2 of those players started shifting back over to deal with that forward aggression. And it was in that moment delivered.
Exactly.
The classic coping notwithstanding, we are back into the game now. And this time Mata has reclaimed that operator away from Som, but it's been always these C-long holds from the op, and apart from the anti-eco DRX ran in round 2, they haven't really gone heavy down long.
Just a bit short on that shock dart. That alarm bot will still be in play B. Wall goes up. Immediately proc, the Nano 2, they're double diving onto this. That was really cool. The Neon into B, the Waylay into Garage, and Scuba gets a kill.
But Mata backside with this operator has to be forced out, fully spotted up, but he gets the kill off the lasers. He's still fighting through this site, tearing apart DRX. Mata finds 4.
It was a perfect call. I mean, it looked like he was the one who was in trouble. He was the one who was pushed back off the op, and he had the ace up his sleeve.
Yeah, the ace is stolen, of course, by the utility on this B site. The combination of the Volm plus the Nano Swarm there, but my word, Mata. Just a savant.
NRG coming to life at just the right time, and now it's DRX who will throw.
Apart from that last round, every single hit has been a success for DRX.
And so NRG will see what they do here. Again, it's time to op in the hands of Som.
Yeah.
And it's Odin still for Brock.
Mata was able to get boosted up here, jumping out of heaven onto default over to the box, but it causes a really almost passive hold for NRG. On the C side, they're going to let their, Som and Scuba take these more forward lines for information. I think projecting that level of threat, very important in a comp like this where usually Killjoy and Viper are the ones playing more passively. You need to have some rounds of that threat so that DRX can't just walk in for free.
Scuba might be in some trouble here if they continue to commit onto this Garage.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately his job is just get 1 here.
You might get a shoulder. Oh,
he saw the belt, I want to say. But hard to know for sure.
Yeah, and so the ceasefire continues, at least for now. They're rotating back towards A, in the face of the 3, into Mata, posted up.
Exactly, but this is where Ethan's going to have a paranoia going down the long angle as the hit comes in. That's going to be big. Brock is holding on to a dart. He can shoot out from heaven and then spam with the Odin. This will be NRG's best shot at holding DRX heavy exec onto A.
Paranoia at the ready as the wall goes up and the smoke goes through. The second one is traded. Mata's actually the first to fall. Flashback back sight. And Brock tries to do his best from heaven, but he's smoked off. Can't really get involved in the situation. And with just over 10 seconds left, the spike goes down.
Yeah, Scuba ran down mid, threatened the flank. I believe broke a tripwire. So DRX have sent Hyunmin to deal with the flank. That allows maybe an opportunity to get back in, but it's still 1 operator for Som.
Tough spot to be in. DRX with the numbers advantage. Flashback does have his ult.
I don't think you play this one, NRG.
I don't think they do either. Yeah, they're calling the save.
And honestly, you look there and you're like, how is it possible that NRG failed to kill more than 1 player on the exec? And I think a large part of it is that DRX were very quiet in the approach. It wasn't DRX barreling down, long, barreling through short like they had on previous A execs. So NRG didn't necessarily have that forward information to be able to instantly react with the util. They had the paranoia, but still weren't able to deal with these players. I might have liked to see an earlier dart come out from NRG in hindsight. And that, of course, doesn't help.
No, I mean, when Hyunmin's shooting like that, yeah, okay, sure. Snappy out of him. And so DRX hang on to a 2-round lead. They still have Flashback's ult. They still have Mako's ult. Meanwhile, the same 2 big weapons on the side of NRG, the op for Mata and then the Odin for Brock.
Yeah, this is looking like that quick short lurk round previously that Bring had been going for, throwing the cage on the cross. This time not choosing it. Usually when DRX have been heavier.
Cheeky little smoke for Mata to tuck in, not get tagged by the dart, and still hold that A-line with the op.
I like that a lot, although of course this time DRX hadn't committed into that space. Maybe going back into that one with a drone later on will be the name of the game.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, they haven't seen that yet, so...
No, not at all.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see that play out.
As a matter of fact, NRG's A-holds have been very passive. It's usually been Brock scouting from long and then falling back into sight.
And so they put their star in this aggro angle. It does not look like he will be tested anytime soon. As DRX continue, I mean, the whiplash and change of pace, how they've approached this attacking side is almost, I mean, it's almost jarring.
Yeah, it's been much slower ever since that timeout. Now just pulling a Paranoia, you can see how much, scariness there is behind that drone.
Mada's going to get tested. The smoke just barely taking that line away at just the right time.
Cute little jump peek there to spot the players coming in. This allows time now for NRG to shift back into the A site. DRX aren't going anywhere, and neither are NRG.
They're waiting on the other side of the smoke. They clear him out. The Paranoia through a couple of members here. Brock once again smoked off. Cannot play. They've lost the site. So NRG will once again try to flood their way out.
Last time on this A retake, it was all about Mada. Expect him to swap over the guns and get back into this site, but so much challenges. Now the smokes go out to the site. It's time for NRG to act.
What's the go button? What's the spark? What's the catalyst to go? It's actually Ethan who takes first contact. Sam close behind him with 2 kills of his own. Freeing. It's done so damn well, but Scoob up top. It pops into 1v1. Flashback with the ult. Scuba drops down, and Flashback takes him. 6 for DRX.
Flashback choosing to pop the ult there is just instant checkmate. There is nothing you can do dropping out of heaven in a situation like that. Quick thinking from the Neon. And a bit of different hold this time for DRX as well. Getting right up on the other side of that smoke.
야, 얘네 리테이크 할 때마다 계속 여기까지 와.
Stopping them right in the corridor. And that's one of those adjustments we're hoping to see out of DRX in the post plants. Play forward, don't allow NRG out easily. Interesting alarm bot.
Much deeper.
Yeah, forward down into mid, and with the positioning of Mada as well, close garage. I wonder if there could be an idea to maybe peek out off of that alarm bot, because once that alarm primes, you're also going to have Ethan challenging on this higher angle.
Choosing to play full retake on A.
Yeah, the second Ethan sees someone, there goes Mada.
Yeah.
Mada might just go now. I don't know about that.
Yeah, a bit early. Worse for wear.
I mean, but it's a effect of NRG just being denied any amount of information.
Ethan gets his pick, though. And now things slow down once more.
Yeah, the tides turn, whereas before it was NRG without info, wanting to step forward, get something done. Now it's DRX down numbers and Flashback in garage, sees the gun.
And sees Sam, gets one, and gets away. Might get a shot at the second. Mada weak, stays alive.
This is awkward though, Doug. 40 seconds left on the clock. Look where the spike is, down on A short. They're gonna fake a pop into B and try to slip this guy up into A.
And that was the relief. That was the last bit of pressure they needed to clear. Scuba falling opens the way for them to go. Ethan has to win out all these fights just to have a chance.
This is forbidden technology. This is the legendary B to A split out of DRX. Gunman made it all the way around, but on the other side of the map, Mada has jumped over the tripwire on the flank.
I think Freeing knows. He's going to miss the timing.
He didn't hear it.
No. And so Mada slipped the net, but he's so weak. He still might have a shot at this, though. 24 HP. Health be damned when you get a shot like that. Pain's the first to fall. What can DRX do? They try to white knuckle their way onto this site. They try to hang on, and it falls into 1v1 once more. Mada was the surprise, but now all attention, all eyes on him. A tap of the spike, a challenge, and Mada seemingly unwinnable. How do you clear that out? The cam falls, yes, but now the real swing comes through. DRX gets 7.
It gets a bit dicey there towards the end with Mada on the flank. But it was this walk-in from Flashback, I think. Gets the team straight back in the round. He ended up falling. But his work into mid.
One enemy remaining.
Just taking straight up duels. That's what won that for DRX.
We'll keep a close eye on those clutch moments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you've got 2 really good teams. Those are often the difference maker. It looks like there's a little bit of B aggression here.
NRG want this walk down. They've heard the spam all the time, but there's not really been a mid-swing.
No.
The camera on the right side, though, is going to stop them from continuing the encroachment.
No real way for them to know how much space NRG have taken, though.
At a certain point, you just gamble when the cam goes down, or you just hold for the inevitable reclear.
I have the spike.
They're waiting for now.
Oh, the cam gets pulled back, and now we go.
Immediately starting to accelerate and push the pace. They have a trip they're going to have to deal with. Nah, I don't know how you get over this. A bit trickier of a problem. And so Mada tries to go fast, and you see they've separated their timings, freeing, looking for the second. Meanwhile, a couple of ults popped. That will clear the lockdown. DRX still in a position to hang on to the side while Scuba buys his time and waits.
Som is taking so much time on that flank. When he chooses to activate, he needs to find some kill. And yet Bane is holding him down on long.
Brock up in heaven, looking to take that fight, falls. The duelist just getting the best of him. Meanwhile, flashback holding them back. NRG are stalling out here. I mean, the Paranoia will buy a little bit more space there. Som getting active, Scuba getting 2 kills. And just like that, the site's cracked wide open. Mako and Freeing trying to hang on to this site. Waiting for the challenge. The spike has been taken for a little bit. The gun barrel's there and the double swing! Mako and Freeing hang on!
How many years later and Mako is still just having rounds like that?
Spend everything.
Great work out of him. And the rest of DRX. Because things got so uncomfortable. The smoke that NRG keep putting down onto the site continue to divide up these DRX players, forcing them to just play on their own.
And you saw it there, the observers pointed it out. The gun barrel was visible on Mada's screen, but so laser focused. Tough break, and DRX capitalized.
Gotta go.
And so into the last round of the half we go. A couple bolts still in play. Mada taking the space. An aggro fight here.
NRG want to seize some control back in these rounds. You saw it in the last as well, walking down into B, now taking that forward A space. And by holding on to these forward lines, it tells them almost essentially exactly where DRX are going to be headed. And they can stack heavily onto that side of the map, but it hasn't really seemed like the stacks matter for NRG because of how overwhelming the execs are with the Neon Waylay.
Yeah, you can only invest so much defensively.
It almost feels like NRG are praying for a spam kill to go right so that they can just take some amount of utility out of the equation.
Silence across the map.
Drone now comes in for the re-clear. End to Cage to threaten the cross.
Brock is the trap. I don't think they're going to clear him. No, they're not. Beautifully played. But Brock feeling the corners closing in, feeling some of the pressure. Meanwhile, a pit invested mid.
Yeah, Som playing right up in it with a shorty. DRX wanted to pivot back into the B side, but there's an alarm bot, there's a Viper, there's so much to deal with. 30 seconds left on the clock.
He's still in the pit. He's still in the pit, and Women gets decapitated.
So now it becomes a mad dash towards the C site. Still a turret holding that approach. So DRX make the noise, now start shifting back to A. They have to deal with the Neon, and then I believe Maka's going to ult over into A. They're pinching onto long.
They're not going to see him. I don't think they know he's there. Mada plays spoiler. 10 seconds left.
10 seconds
The spike
left.
gets through, and Mada is the thorn in their side. Trying to spam and stop the plan is exactly what they'll do. 3 for the duelist, a flawless round as NRG get to 4.
That's a great round to close out the half for NRG, but they are still coming into this second bleeding. Down 8-4 and being tested really in every single round. It's only this little bait and switch that ends up working for NRG in the final moment. And these shots from Scuba as well. You cannot undersell how powerful Scuba has been on the global stage.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have 5 guys that are just frying. It's just the macro that's been the difference. Not much interest in fighting for A main. A lot more focus on mid and garage. Garage.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll see on pistol rounds this 2-2 setup between garage and mid. Mid players can hold a little double thing, and then if they run into any contact, the garage players can step out. But we've just got 4 players sprinting over into the C site, and we're going to see a little test of these DRX retakes already in the pistol.
Pushing that narrow corridor of the wall. The Paranoia is out. It's not going to tag onto anyone. Tap, tap, tap as the spike goes away. Flashback, the first to fall. And they continue to threaten, continue to stall out, but Ethan finally getting that thing down.
Yeah, no threat of that NRG flank, and actually Freeing taking down the Killjoys, turned it around on the map.
Right. And so you have to keep a close eye on that. Are they aware? Surely they know. Yeah, a couple of guns trained that way. No, maybe they weren't as aware as I thought. Freeing gets a free one.
1 enemy remaining.
Oh, they get a couple all over the site. You mentioned they were going to test that retake. Aces across the board.
Yeah, that was a little dance there between our IGLs. Ethan and Mako calling circles around each other, right? Because NRG try to reclaim that garage space as soon as their lurker dies out. Then all of a sudden they don't find Freeing, the guy that killed their guy. And so they go back into the C site, but they don't see him down long, so then they've got to turn around and deal with these players that have started creeping out. It was that pressure, I think, that Freeing generated by killing the lurker and then disappearing on the map that started pulling NRG every which way.
Yeah, maybe that forces the scale into spawn because they feel like they have a lot of threat behind them.
Yeah.
They double swing outside of that smoke and then, yeah, immediately get dropped.
I think winning that pistol erases a lot of the concerns I had for DRX on this half. Getting this, converting here, getting up to 10, then you just need a few good ult rounds to carry it through.
Cheeky little smoke, but Flashback playing ahead of it with the judge means there's no real joy on the other side of it. So NRG will decide that they want to test the waters B. They have a trip that they're going to have to navigate. And maybe they can get away with one. Thrifties have been so prevalent in this tournament.
Yes, they have. And I like this hold from DRX right now. Even bringing a second player over onto the B site.
Yeah.
They just droned down A-Long as well, so they know there's no hit coming on that side of the map anytime soon. They've got Cypher Util comfortably guarding their C.
They're just freezing on the other side of the smoke. The trip gets cleared and immediately utility through.
Look at Freeing step up into that cage. I absolutely love it.
Ethan's gotten some high ground. He's gone undetected, but a classic into the face of a Bulldog like that is tough. A flawless round for DRX as they get to 10.
I love seeing that little movement out of the Cypher. Taking the moment to break the one-way that had been put down on top of the site there. Use his own cage to do that. As a matter of fact, gets up into it.
Jump scare, bro.
Wasn't expecting the Cypher there, was he?
And so remember here, take a quick look at the timeline and remember how the first half started for DRX. Able to win the pistol, they win the anti-eco, and then they convert the bonus. And that really set off the chain of events that has us to this point.
Hello.
DRX once again in a spot to try to do it again. And they're pushing for blood. Aggressive down C-Long. Flashback gets the opener. They continue to crunch in. But Scuba punches back.
Yeah, 1 for 1 is good enough for NRG to try and equalize now. They can take a breath, filter out, and make sure that no more players have stepped up into the empty space. But you can see down on A short, that's exactly what Freeing's done on his Cypher.
Deny some of that space. NRG will have to deal with him if they decide to go back that way. But for now, attention towards C.
I believe Flashback was able to pick up the Vandal off of Som's body, or Mata's body rather, on the way out. That'll be the one bright light for DRX. That in this position that Freeing's found himself in.
Generally, you look at this and you go, this is a one and done, but Champs is a different beast. One kill found, drops the cage, tries to cover, can't find any more.
So Bane is going to be able to slip back into the site. Now he needs one. Flashback's going to need one. Everyone needs one. He gets two!
As Bane gets both! Scuba tries to get them back into the round, get back into the action, but it's another mess.
These bonuses just keep on working for DRX. Bane just toying with him on the off angle. Ah! And that just takes NRG out of the game. Bonkar's gonna go ahead and won the game, so
Yeah.
it's gonna require NRG to dig real deep here to have any chance of taking out DRX's map pick.
Yeah, it's funny, they talk about swapping sides and how the double duelist is going to work on the defensive side. I'm pretty sure the approach has been the same. Play it super high pace, super high tempo, and don't let NRG get a breath.
I mean, it's the same thing right there. Doesn't even have to press it again to go back. He's fine to get the kill and run out anyways.
And if they commit into this A hit, which it seems like will be the case, they have 3 members of the defense here.
I mean, it's just an execution.
I don't know how NRG make adjustments here. DRX looks so good on both sides of the ball.
You don't really have the time to make the adjustments either, unless Som and Brock can do something.
A high-low like this, yeah, you get your one, but double, triple face. What are you going to do?
Die to Freeing's lurk again. He's got some fully boxed in here. Nowhere left to go but forward.
Snappy on 1, 3 on the round, and yeah, it gets that pit closer and closer, but the problem is they're running out of time. DRX are on map point.
And, you know, NRG would be able to, you know, brush a map like this off. They've got a lot to look forward to. Corrode and Lotus, their best maps coming up. Sure. But the fashion in which DRX are just tearing them apart here, they're going to start sowing the seeds of doubt in the back of NRG's minds.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily inspire confidence on that side of the stage. Meanwhile, for DRX, I mean, they look like world beaters right now.
Absolutely. Just riding that momentum from their opening series versus TL. Again, some bullets down into mid early on. Okay.
That's with the spike. Cancel out, so they get the Waylay ult out, sure.
Yeah, and we heard the Omen ult canceled, I assume. Actually, DRX are still going back into their spawn to clear, just to be safe.
Right. Sure, better the devil you know,
Yeah, but now that they've fully cleared that away, they're like, okay, and now what? NRG haven't seized any of these gaps that they've left by going back to re-clear their own spawn. Yeah, it's a pretty garbage drone from Bane sends that out from A-Link to make sure no one got onto the site, but at the end of the day, DRX are still in a great spot.
This trip is still up. Utility has not cleared it. Clement's gonna try to push the pace again, but Ethan, feeling the threat, off the spike, takes the fight, but there's more, there's a layer to it. Science behind it, and DRX again, beautiful performance.
That spike sitting out stranded on the B site. DRX have 3 players here holding it with an iron grip.
With confidence and conviction, DRX continue to push the pace, continue to take the fight to NRG, and every single time they seem to win it out. As close to perfect as you can get. A complete stop on their map pick, 13-4 for DRX.
Yeah, the Yoru is a little bit of a change. That pace at which DRX were able to play on their execs, on their attacking side, was simply overwhelming. And I think it'll be important for NRG to seize the reins themselves.
Yeah, and that's exactly where they're going to be starting. That knife tagging 3 right at the beginning. But they turn away and turn their attention A.
Yeah, a lot of the time you'll just see Som play in this position, Paranoia ready to go just to stall out and allow Mata to shift in from Link.
Oh, I mean, women can just fully TP in and then, or excuse me, dash in and then TP out. It doesn't really matter what utility hits them.
Yeah,
but
I suppose.
They fill in behind it.
Now up into elbow as well, but NRG have 3 players here. It's going to be very hard to make forward progress for DRX.
We say that.
I mean, they've got a flash on the Yoru.
We say that.
That's it.
There's that flash. And there's the snap onto Brock. Flashback, picking up right where he left off.
And now the 2 NRG members slip away from the site, play inside their own smoke. The map's also gone quiet. This is a little concern for NRG. Now the fights start coming online. NRG back into the thick of it, but DRX just cut them down. One by one they go. Only Ethan to try and stop it, but it's not going to happen.
Scuba's going to show up real late into this 1v3, and yeah, they're weak. And Scuba's been good. But he's really going to have to show up here. It doesn't matter how good you are domestically. International stages are where you make a name for yourself. And Scuba has been thrust into the spotlight now. Spike ticks away, and Scuba has to play this so carefully, so quietly. No challenge given. No free fight afforded. Fully denying any advantage they might be able to pull. And so on the tap, he finds one. That's freeing, one of the weaker ones, but Flashback gets his 3, and that's the pistol. That's 3 pistols in a row for DRX, if I'm not mistaken.
It absolutely is. Not just that, it was both, you know, conversions of the anti-eco and the bonus back on Haven. So we're going to be looking at that. I think you see here just a masterclass out of Flashback. It's only him with a piece of utility to actually reach into the A site.
We don't usually win pistols, who cares?
He was able to lay out Brock behind the box, but yeah.
I mean, that's true.
I care. Also, let's work on that, I think.
I think NRG fans would like it if they started to win a couple, I don't know.
Yeah, that might simplify the games. That might stop them from having to make the silly comebacks.
Pacey, the flash over the top. They're fully running it down A. You've got a little bit of trouble. Freeing will get one, but fall away.
Unfortunately, it's a FPX buy for DRX, so nothing for NRG to be able to try and reclaim, unless they're able to get Flashback here, but he can just teleport across the other side. Yoru things.
Yeah, find safe pass to choose. Scuba will be up close. Just a classic, though.
Planted.
I think once again, DRX have shown that they can make these teams on the other side of the stage look incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah. And I also think that they don't really have to tell NRG any plan in the second round. You know, DRX have plenty of tape up against NRG, right? NRG are 5-0 on this map.
Right.
You know, they played a lot of rounds. DRX have never played this comp for NRG to be able to download it. They're playing single duelist back in Stage 2 playoffs. And so NRG going for a bit of a rundown round here means that they can't even try to analyze and break down what DRX's approach is going to be, because they just kind of full sent it and blew up the round from the get-go.
Yeah, nothing really to learn there. And so DRX will get their second, and once again, NRG fans, cover your ears for a second, because we have to go back into a couple of hours ago, and we need to go back into the history of DRX converting the bonus both halves on Haven. They're here once more.
NRG have to be able to deal on this round. And for me, I always want to look at Brock's Odin. You know, NRG really made a name for themselves with the complete overuse of the Odin on Corrode and Lotus.
Right, the Broden, some might say.
I mean, Brock is always making sure he can buy that, even if it means light armor. This is 4 players on light armor, and DRX have bought up a few guns.
That's big.
I mean, it absolutely is. And yet it doesn't make this game any less simple. DRX have a few players up in B main right now sending Bane into mid to threaten some space here with a Prowler. Maybe pull some attention back into mid so NRG just can't full camp down on this B site. And my question is whether or not Flashback is going to be able to pop the ultimate on this round. Do you actually send that down in numbers to try and convert yet another bonus?
Yeah, I mean, round 3, you've got it early.
Yeah.
Why not?
I mean, you would have loved to see NRG peek forward for a pick, but here he goes.
The Dimensional Drift will pave the way, or at least get a little bit of info.
And they all dodged the knife.
But there are 2 here, and they know exactly where they are. Women behind enemy lines. TP's back away. And Flashback once again nipping at his heels, looking to take the fight. And it's a disaster once more for NRG. Psalm the last standing.
Spike planted.
They crumble.
Shadows.
Flashback has silenced NRG in these opening 3 rounds. Completely devastating this site, popping the old down in numbers. There's not a round left for Psalm to play.
No. The bonus again.
And this is where the memories of Haven starts to surface once more. You know, you could have written off Haven and said, okay, it's DRX's map pick. We've got our 2 best in the pool coming up for NRG. But now as things start going horribly wrong on your defensive side of all things, those doubts are right at the fore.
I don't think they know where Psalm is, but he's not even going to take that swing. Just hang on to that rifle and carry it into the next round. We'll take a look at this one more time. This was off the back of an opener too, but this double dive is just...
I mean, the utility didn't even crush NRG. It was just Flashback's flash.
Yeah.
That's it. There was a lot sent that way. There was a paranoia, but it didn't hit them. He wasn't playing off of that. It looked a lot more complicated than it actually was. Every single round has just been Flashback sending one flash and winning it.
Time to jump.
7-1 for the duelist, for DRX. Really getting away with whatever he wants, whatever DRX want, to be honest.
Now the thing is, with NRG going for light armors in the last round and having max loss bonus, losing 3 rounds in a row, they still have a buy on this. So it's not as devastating as it was back for them on Haven when they were forced to save here.
Yeah, yes. If this one goes sideways, though, might be telling a different tale. And DRX again continue this jarring, this disorienting change of pace.
And yet NRG can sit relatively comfortable knowing they have forward information in A main. Yes, mid is going to be a little bit light, but they're okay with that. And even if DRX try to come back into B, well, I was going to say they have the knife on Ethan to slow it down. Now that is not an option, and this pop could rip them apart.
Scuba doesn't have a spit. There's a flash, and there's the wall. And again, it's the double dash. It's again, flashback right behind him. Again, an opener for DRX. Brock tries to do his best, but he's just an S-Domino to fall.
30 seconds left.
NRG had absolutely nothing to slow down that hit. That pulling, that when Hyunmin goes into the site, just diving into the center there, all of a sudden everyone at NRG is turning to deal with him. And that's exactly when Flashback is coming in, popping them, ruining their hold. This is an NRG without answers.
I mean, a change of scenery, a different map, but it feels to me like the approach for DRX is incredibly similar. And it's the same problem that NRG are going to have to solve. And Yinsu was talking about it on the desk. Bonkar said, we didn't know what to do with that comp.
Yeah.
We didn't know how to deal with it. It doesn't look like they do here either.
Yeah, might be time to course correct, readjust with the timeout, because NRG, one of the weaknesses with their comp is they don't have that typical Sentinel utility. Their B site is weak, and teams in Americas have tried to exploit this. It's limited to success, but like you can see right here, apart from a Viper wall, and sometimes that spit, as you call it, coming down, there's very little stall, and both a Yoru teleporting across and a Waylay jumping over it can ignore that Viper utility. The only honest piece of utility you have to stop that hit from coming in is the KO knife. So Ethan needs to stop using that, I think, for information, to use that to stall out hits.
Yeah. Or what, just start ignoring the Waylay, dashing onto the site, because you know the real threat is the Yoru behind you?
Yeah, except I mean, the one time you ignore Waylay
right,
is when Hyunmin's going to sit in there and punish you for
it.
I think another idea for NRG, like we saw in the last round with the step into A main from Mata, could be take forward space. You see B main right now, they've got two players creeping forward. Now, this isn't going to matter in this round where NRG have two guns and DRX are headed towards A, but these are the types of ideas you can start weaving in there to disrupt DRX.
That was one of the guns. Mata had a rifle. NRG, look, they've flatlined. No signs of life. Who's the spark? It's not Scuba either. As DRX, particularly women, just continues to push forward. Just continues, just body bags, toe tags him, and he just does whatever he wants.
It's just wild watching this. You know, we come where we've watched NRG play this map so many times in Americas. Usually they're the squad that's doing what DRX are doing right now. Just knocking you sideways. And, well, now Freeing playing with his food right behind him. Can take two to finish it off with a flawless round.
A shell of the team we saw the first week. Meanwhile, DRX putting the rest of the field on notice.
The way I see it, Doug,
yeah,
I think NRG have really three main options they can play with coming into these future rounds. Bonkar is going to be calling a timeout, trying to adjust here. And two of them I've talked about. I think A, you can try to take that forward fight in mains.
What are the adjustments on the other side of this timeout? Because for DRX, the pace has been unyielding, unrelenting.
Where are you?
A little bit of pressure across the middle of the map. An eye for a knife.
Yeah, NRG have been defaulting this knife down bottom mid at the start of rounds, and
it's a real deep smoke in B main that DRX just had to use a dog to clear, scared of the early aggression B main, like
there was even a flash tossed over the top of B there into main. So NRG are showing a lot of force towards the B main side. They're not actually in there, but it's done enough to push DRX the other way. Although, that being said, that doesn't really change the outcome of events for NRG. DRX have been very successful on these A-pops anyways.
And so they freeze, they cut noise, they gather up, and then they just explode out onto the site. That seems like that'll be approach for DRX here.
Yeah, as this split comes into A, I wonder if it's going to be difficult for Mata to quickly pinch into A.
Only two on site. The dart's not going to do a ton. They try to cancel out on the other side.
Bane
Odin gets a little bit, but Bane gets more. And now they can call off the side if they want to rotate away. It's just going to be on Som.
Yeah, Som, who's tucked over into the corner on the left side here. Now, Bane is low HP, but he's going to be the bait for DRX. Som needs two here to give NRG a chance.
There's his one. How much more can he do? 2, 3! And all of a sudden, they're up in numbers. Women should be able to get the spike down, though. And now left in a 1v2. He has been a demon. But this time, he falls. NRG, they get on the board.
That is just a Psalm round there through and through for NRG.
Yep.
They were outplayed through the round.
Revealing area.
Psalm's dealing with flashes from his teammates too. It's a little bit funny, but I mean, apart from this spam kill that Brock had, it's just Psalm. Because you have to remember, Bane was left sitting in mid. He killed 2 players that were rotating over for NRG. NRG were hoping to play for mid control to fast flood into A, but between the Viper wall and the location Bane was in, that was very difficult.
And so an exhale as NRG get on the board. We saw the problems with the Odin. Ethan's got his ult here, light armor on everyone.
Where are you? Marked 1.
And DRX not playing fast. Same smoke as we talked about in the previous round, though, that aggressive B main smoke.
Yep. Trying to step up into mid behind the knife, trying to step up behind the smoke in B main, or at least threaten it. That said, this time DRX are positioned to try and re-clear into B main and figure out exactly how NRG have been holding it. I mean, it's wild that NRG have committed yet another smoke into main.
But, I mean, I look at those 2 smokes alone, and that tells me that the approach on the other side of the timeout was to deny space.
Yeah. And ultimately, over on the A side of the map, you don't need those Omen smokes when you can just toss up a Viper wall of your own.
3rd Omen smoke, B main.
And now the re-clear will come. But you have to keep in mind, Hyunmin and Bane both with the ultimates. They can overwhelm the site, so the positions of NRG are not to really fight it out here. Instead, it's to play back into heaven and then try to retake with Ethan's own ult.
Assuming he stays alive, Mata has to keep him up. Just waiting on the other side of the wall. It's going to be a quick draw. It goes down.
30 seconds left.
Mata spots his shoulders, fights into the swing, gets the best of flashback, gets freeing to. Now the ult hits out onto the site. The paranoia should buy a little bit of time. The defenses of NRG looking to stand strong, looking to hold.
And look at this, Doug. Mata quickly on the flank through mid with only 12 seconds left on the clock. NRG are moving in.
Flash over the
10
top.
seconds left.
DRX through, Mata with 3 on the round, make that 4. Looking for the ace, and Mata delivers.
Welcome to the big stage, Mata. Smile on his face.
30 seconds left.
He is no stranger to the ace. 10 domestically
10 seconds left.
in his first year in Americas.
Remaining.
And now here, just thriving in the chaos.
That's another one. That's another one.
He's just racking them up. Bands on bands.
Fast A for DRX here. Little utility over top. The eye cleared out. The wall is there.
Yeah, I think
And
we're gonna.
so is Mata.
I think we're gonna eventually end up seeing Mako enter the back lines with his ultimate. Comboed with the Nightfall. That can be extremely disruptive. Once you're denied the audio, you have no idea where that Omen goes. You don't even know he ulted.
So with 3 here, it looks like they just picked up the orb and rotated away.
Yeah, now they've got the Your ult as well.
And freeing's one off of the pit.
Yeah, DRX can just do a bit of bullying here. They have higher tempo on those ults than NRG, who are 1 and 2 off of Brock and Scuba, respectively. But they've got a good 3 hold here on NRG's side.
Yeah, in the face of these ults, though, that's a different beast. DRX continue to push NRG to spots where they have to respond.
Typically, Hyunmin's been diving to the left side here into Yard. That's where Mata's going to be playing. We'll see if he can take the 1v1 against the other Waylay.
Flashback, taking all of this space and elbow, getting all the info that he possibly can, and there's Winman not far off. You mentioned the Nightfall. It's actually a TP coming through from Psalm.
30 seconds
As Mata
left.
waits for the challenge, waits for the swing. TP proc, the fight's there, and it's Flashback who comes out on top. Scuba's gonna try to do a bit of the same on the other side of the smoke. Double face on the other side of it. Patiently waiting, they swing, they get his. But Brock with the Odin also crumbles. Gets us 1, and now the ult pop. 10 seconds left, the spike still goes down. This is a dangerous spot. Manages to stay alive. With the Odin, what can he do to take this back? One of the newest additions to the team, again, has to play savior for NRG. And DRX have been so airtight, so rock steady. Brock creeping forward, looking for a fight. He will slowly inch his way up. A tap of the spike. That eye's not going to tag him. Brock's going to stick it. Oh, he had a shot. Gets down to 1v1. Freeing's on the challenge, and it was a tap at just the wrong time.
Brock gets caught on the most brutal timing of all time. And again, it's just DRX carving up this A site. Bane just lethal with it. 3 kills
Player standing.
on the approach from Yard. Steady 2 in the post plant. The actual site holds for NRG continue to just be paper.
Toxins going up.
DRX. And the only real response from NRG has been threatening B main over and over again. And I mean, DRX are like, okay, sure, we'll just keep going A because he can't hold that side of the map.
Mod is up really early with an op. Has the TP procced. Jump spots that again. Gets away. Whew, risky, but they're chasing him down. Brock tries to fill in on the space. Spam coming through the most uncomfortable position, and eventually the spam connects.
And at the same time, Mako from the shadows into the backline now. DRX surrounding NRG on this A site. Som does well to shut him down.
The op, just off the mark, flashed up. But once again, DRX get the openers. They get the site. They get the space. Freeing's gonna catch Scuba too.
He saw him. What?
Oh no, what happened there? Freeing misplays that horribly. And now they're gonna rotate back onto B, and the defenses are gonna be there first.
Yeah, he expected Scuba to keep on walking forward now. All of a sudden, it's a bit of a mess. 30 seconds left onto the clock. Scuba still has a molly, has the wall.
And Mata has an op and will have the line.
Oh!
There it is, the collat! On to 2, Scuba gets the last. NRG gets a 3.
Mata playing with the crowd as well.
And they respond.
I mean, sure. Take every lucky break you can get. Still have no idea what just happened there in mid. That was wild. The start of this round was such a disaster too. Brock getting spammed away. Taste of his own medicine, but through Hyunmin's hand and into Flashback's chest, that collat wins the round for NRG.
Yes, man! Yes!
So maybe Mata is the spark after all. 9 and 6 still has the op in play, and DRX's attack side has slowed down. Not just in the rounds they're winning, but in the pace they're pushing. As Mata gets another opener.
Shadows traveling.
First time ever, DRX's econ broken, but not in Hyunmin's hands.
No.
In and out, an assassin.
They're gonna push behind this though, and Som's ready for it. Mako a bit too far up. Still a couple of rifles to play on the side of DRX.
The flash is brutal.
60 HP, but Som swings, gets 3.
Spike down A.
31 HP. How in the world does he do this? I don't think he can. NRG gets a 4, and all of a sudden, yeah, they might have a shot at this thing.
Hey, take this next round, then I'll start believing it.
Sure.
With NRG, you can see a bit of the excitement on stage. I mean, even just Mata there after playing up with the crowd.
One enemy remaining.
Feeling the hype, going for the early peek down into mid.
스파이크가 A 지점에 떨어졌습니다.
That has been severely lacking so far today. It's a bit peculiar to me that Mata has an outlaw in his inventory. You can see DRX with enough money to force up into heavy armors and rifles. It's only Flashback that's vulnerable.
Note here, the 3 ults on the side of the attack too. There's Mata with that outlaw. Looking for a challenge, will not find one early on. And now look at the adjustment from side of NRG. No longer dropping that aggro B main smoke.
It's an A instead, right? That one going onto that side. I don't know how to draw. But ultimately, I think what DRX have spoken about in the timeout is they're inclined to believe that NRG are filling into some of the space, taking forward space in main, so they were holding for a mid-walk, seeing if Mata was going to go all the way through that. Now they can regroup, test into B, where They've seen so much attention early, but that's, again, an early KO knife that doesn't give good information, and now eats up all their stall.
Ethan's using it right off respawn. Right off timings. Scuba has tucked. And he was a menace from this exact position for NRG in their previous series. Tucked behind the wall, he's gonna get another one, isn't he? Finds flashback, trigger discipline, but no. Fires a little bit too early. He gets one, but DRX take the site.
30 seconds left.
It's a little bit delayed, a little bit of hesitation, but the outcome's the same.
Welcome to my world.
Scuba's going to spend a long time thinking about that round. Had a chance to be the dagger in the back of DRX, but now that responsibility moves to Mata and Brock. And the weaponry just isn't really there. Mata's looking at a full HP Bane and main.
He's got to take this line to maybe get a gun upgraded, but Bane is there waiting, as you mentioned.
There's just no way.
No, Brock 1v3, he's got the Odin. He'll get one. Dropping into the pit, forced to take the fight. And it's just not when you're going to win there.
And that's wild, too, because I think Scuba's having an incredible tournament. Like, even in the tough halves that NRG played in their opening series, even in the loss in that first map, Scuba's been pretty lights out. But he missed his chance to get the first kill. Amazingly, still turns around and gets one guy before being taken down. But he was being asked for a whole lot more in a position like that. He just couldn't deliver in the heat of the moment.
And it was, again, off of the unyielding, fully send out onto site for DRX.
Toxins going up.
And so they go back to their tried and true, and it nets them another round win.
Yeah, we're going to close out this half with another Yoru ult. I believe that's 3 now.
And it's going to be another B hit, I think. I mean, they're gathering up. Scuba's jump spotting, but that's danger because you've got Waylay who's going to double dive onto you. And then what? But he takes a step back, pushes off the line. Ethan has joined, does not have knife.
Yep. NRG eat up some of the gas, and it's time to go into this site. No info on Scuba.
Yeah. Flashback only spotting one. Ethan now 2, TP's out. And it's Mako who fills in, but they're stalling out onto the site. The Parano's going to buy a little bit of time. Once again, Scuba can play spoiler. Once again, Scuba can deliver, and he does. 2 found. Onto the third, but of course.
And now Mata's here on the flank.
He's got the op in hand. Slowly swinging out onto the site. Trying to get the spike down. He spotted him. But is he going to land the shot? Patience with it right on the mark. And it's going to be him in a 1v2. He's going to be able to get his ones as well, isn't he? The Brock. Odin on the other side, and it's Mata that closes it out. NRG salvage 5 on a half that felt like they were lucky to get this far.
I mean, look, it's a breath of life at the end there for NRG, but every single round felt like it needed multiple things to go perfectly well. This game has delivered so far, but if we're going to see a map 3, NRG need to show up. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
30 seconds.
Fighting forward a lot, fighting down multiple lanes at the same time, but also being so quick on the retakes, flooding into sight, denying the plant from going down. Let's see what they have in store for us here this time around.
All right, with flash up high, the wall will go through. 2 members of the defense here. Flashback not far off. There's a double dash from Mata out onto the site. They've gotten the space, but now what?
The fight forward into elbow. That's the idea for NRG.
Oh, they're scaling with the spike. They're not even concerned about getting it down. They want to take this fight all the way up. And Freeing jumps down from heaven, gets the best of Mata. But Scuba and Brock are there to wait and greet with open arms.
Last player
What a chaotic pistol. And as the dust settles, Bane is left in a 1v4, trying to spam through the smoke, trying to get a free one. It will not be allotted, at least not yet.
Find you.
Such a wild approach.
So clever. Look, the thing is, NRG know that DRX are going to love to fast flood back into the site, rotate through mid. So what do? They fight elbow, claim heaven control for themselves, and then pinch back down onto the site. It's like they were the ones that were actually playing defense.
Sure.
And DRX were running a B split on them. It was really cool. Even though Mata dropped early on into that play, I don't think DRX had any clue how to react.
All smiles as NRG win their first pistol of the series.
They can do it.
I mean, it desperately needed one too. And it looks like they're back to picking on B main.
Pretty reserved buy for them as well. They want to give DRX a bit of taste of their own medicine too, with nice pathing, diving up onto the box. I don't know about that one, Mata.
Unfortunate timing there, but manages to stay alive. There's the swing onto Bane. Bullet between his eyes, and all of a sudden the defense gets a little bit lighter, a little bit weaker. Wow. You want to get out of this as cleanly as you can. That's one Guardian down. All you've got left is the Vandal. They cannot afford this. The disaster that this would be. They've got to find a way to convert here. And DRX are ripping this out of their hands. Mako gets 3. Brock left in a 1v2. Whispers of nightmare creep over their shoulder as DRX snatches it away.
I don't know if they're still going to be smiling, Doug. It looks awfully quiet down on that stage. At least in the NRG camp. And this is again that same idea, fighting up into heaven, this time teleporting in there from Som.
적군이 한 명 남았습니다.
That one gets away from them, and the brutal thing is you don't have time to think it over.
No.
You just gotta go next.
I mean, at least they can buy because they only bought 2 real rifles in the last round.
Kill all your opponents.
But the momentum, the pace setting, the tone of this half has already been set.
NRG have to win this round, and the econ is shattered.
Pacey towards a paranoia to pave the way for Mata.
Yeah, just trying to get Mata up into Link here. He actually has to dive away. The threat of the Prowler on his heel.
They're fully faking this B hit. A flash over the top of smoke through, but they're not biting. They still have mid control. DRX are still A.
Mako still waiting by elbow, right on the other side of this wall.
And Yunmin here. There's Mako. Som gets the best of him. But there's still threat on the other side of this smoke. Yunmin creeping forward. Swings a bit aggressively. Ambitious, perhaps, and pays for it.
And that was a very signature NRG round. They are great at freezing after they've made a lot of space, especially onto the A site. See DRX a little bit uncomfortable how to deal with that once NRG went quiet, although now Bane finding that opener right back in things.
4v3, the spike is down, a couple of members on the side of NRG are
This
weak.
mid-fight.
Goes the way of DRX, and all of a sudden becomes a bit more problematic. Again, look at the health bars on the side of NRG. Time is so short though, and I think they're calling the save.
remaining.
Yeah, Fring's not trying to play the round. I mean, credit to NRG there. Being able to find their way onto the A site. You think about things, because they had lost the previous round. If they lose this one, that's only 2 losses in a row. It's a very different situation than if they'd lost the pistol as well. They'd be maxed out on the loss bonus. No, instead, NRG would have had absolutely nothing. This was a critical one for them.
The money would have been a disaster.
Yep. And there's going to continue to be many of these critical rounds as we move forward here. Those rounds
that can
that'll
go wrong is gonna go wrong today. Everything that can go wrong will.
And it sort of has been so far.
See the buy for DRX, it's not great. 2 rifles. Pace out of A though, this is a cheeky little setup and they're rewarded for it. Scuba gets caught asleep at the wheel.
That's what our NRG do, force up into mid, but this hold from flashback is perfect!
Beautiful off angle. Remember, this buy was not great. Remember, they only had 2 rifles. They've already gotten 2 picks and flashback's getting another. And so once again, the Thrifty from a couple of rounds ago rears its ugly head. NRG are trying to push their way back out onto the site, but it's another nightmare. It's a flawless round as DRX punch back.
Those words you just heard from Scuba have a little bit extra weight behind them after a round like that. He had said that after a win, but he's feeling it after a loss. Didn't even have a chance in that round. Caught out by the Saturate, trying to jump away. There's no way you're escaping from Yunmin.
And so Murphy continues to be a problem for NRG.
Wow. They continue to just try and force round after round down to nothing. 2 stingers in the inventory.
Gonna fall back here.
Flash over the top, paranoia. NRG looking to give them a bit of their own medicine. An aggressive hit towards A, but they stall out and Som gets caught. Sticks to TP. And overstays his welcome. And they haven't gotten onto the site. The spike hits the ground.
A.
Traded back though, and they're in a position where they can recover it. They're in a position where they can play around it.
Spike planted.
It's all going to come down to this flank from Freeing.
Yeah, DRX with the numbers advantage. And there's nothing really to check it. They have to face hold this if you're NRG, and they're not. And so they huddle up. They continue to push further and further into the site. Try to play around the advantages they have. But the gun barrel gives Scuba away. Freeing gets the pick. And now they're going to be able to pop the ult too. That's going to make this so much messier. Bane and Mako, the only two left out onto the site, swinging around a tap of the spike. Mata and Brock repositioning, looking to take this fight somewhere else. As Mata does. Bane into the swing. Mata gets 3. And NRG get away with the round.
That's a great post plant there for Mata. The reposition out of elbow into yard. And from his spot too, he can see that spike ticking down. Fortunate there that Flashback had just teleported over into deep A, so he's holding. Here's the Omen ult and shakes it down.
Enemy remaining.
But yeah, from where Mata is, he doesn't have to actually peek Mako or Bane or anyone. You can see whether or not that spike is actually being diffused.
An outlaw for Flashback. Currently up across the middle of the map, where Mata should be playing close by.
Yeah, funky there. This attack smoke being dropped there into B main. Threatens a pop out on either side. Knife pushed away anyone near on the other side. So DRX are going to commit 3 players towards B early on into the round. This could be a situation where Flashback just pops the Yoru ult into mid-round for information. Very likely. Especially if NRG keep winding down the clock.
Here.
Dog clearing out B main early on. You see Freeing taking some of that space. Saw him just far off that line. They're going to rotate back into this. Again, Freeing has taken this line, but he is alone. There's not a lot of help here. Meanwhile, the ult is popped mid. Freeing realizing he's in a position to make a play. Gets his one. That's all it is. And now it's on Bane, who's going to be challenged. Flashback has joined. Saw him TPing forward right into his death. As Bane's there to meet him, gets another. Not able to connect onto the third, and there is the outlaw. Flashback connects. Brock in the face of 3. Cannot convert. DRX get to double digits.
DRX seem to have all the answers, and Flashback in particular. They've clued in on this idea that NRG are just forcing round after round so often on those light armors. So what better than the outlaw? What better than Bane from that position? I mean, that was just class.
Yeah, well, I mean, also fully Flash getting the kill. Like, sometimes you play Valorant, sometimes Valorant plays you, man. I don't know.
Not much you can ask for in that spot.
And so a timeout called. So you presume that DRX will be able to get to 11, and then the game will really start. But we'll see. We've seen a couple of silly rounds so far. This is going to be fast into mid. It looks like the paranoia, the double dash off the knife to take a challenge. They continue to ask Mata to deliver, and they're giving him the tools to do it.
Yeah, so often he's just dropped back, though, and with Ethan dropping out of the round, this one, it seems cooked.
Well, Murphy's Law striking again. I mean, Scuba said it, and honestly, with how this has gone, I am inclined to agree, but also nothing to take away from DRX here. They've played so damn well.
I mean, it's just been amazing seeing Flashback perform at such a high level on the duelist role. You know, if you're watching Bangkok, he was rocking some Senti for the team, was still putting up
insane
major numbers. Yeah. But it just feels like he's been so freed up to go for the plays he wants to go for and give himself some of that agency with the flashes to take those fights, whether it's on the Yoru or Neon.
Interesting using the Nightfall.
Yeah, I think we thought it was a B split coming in.
Yeah, on the timing, which makes sense, and they're still hedging their bets. You still have Flashback rotating. You still have Bane and Mako A. It's still a flawless round for DRX.
All right, it is now do or die for NRG. They've got a buy, they've got ults, They've got Brock Zoden. And for a team that is filled with so many rookies, now Ethan and Som, they've got the experience. But a guy like Mata, he came into the league, tore up the leaderboard.
They might try to pick on Scuba again. Oh, he just barely gets away. That had trouble written all over it. And so off of that, the response is they try to speed up E off of Ethan's ult. Mata TP's forward, spams into the smoke, gets one. You mentioned this was do or die. They have to find a way through, but flashback. Hits where it hurts into the second. Brock falls, tucks back, looks for another fight. And it's Freeing who joins in on the fray. Things slow down into a 2v2 with the pit. Actually, forget about slowing down. They want to continue to push the pace. Ethan will drop a volley to provide a little bit of cover, provide a little bit of space. Dropping down from over the box. Ethan is there to greet. Mako left in a 1v2. Decay down to next to nothing. Ethan gets 4. NRG get to 9.
A major round there from the newer IGL on NRG. Ethan stepped into that role in stage 2. Led his team to the best finish all year. Revived this roster. And also can put up rounds like that. 4 kills for him. It's all of a sudden that spark has been ignited for NRG.
And that spark has been there a few times, but every time DRX snuff it out, they squelch it.
Flash.
And so can they do it again?
Well, we're just back to the B site. NRG want to get in and get in quick.
A barrage of utility soars into the site. And then they TP back out, finding out that nobody's home. But DRX are there, they're knocking on the door, they're waiting to flood.
Nowhere to run.
And that might just be the cue. If they can find space around it. Brock pops his ult. No target found, but there's Bane with 2.
Spike down B.
The scale up might be a bit too far. There's Windman, but Mata's there to greet him. Outlaw not connecting. Just off the mark.
Enemy remaining.
It's all on to Mako now. A 1v2 and a winnable one. Paranoia will buy a little bit of time. NRG slow things down. Mako, can you pull this one off?
Spike planted.
Quietly put in a position to play spoiler. Such a tenured player, historic. And again, thrust into a spot to be iconic once more. Mako playing up in heaven. Looking for a fight. And it's not being given to him now. Getting active. And Mata is the one who stops it. NRG gets to double digits.
Finally, NRG put 2 rounds together. That has been eluding them in this half, and they go back to the pistol strats to do it. This fight into elbow seems to be something they love, even if it is close on the engagement. Wow. A lot of covering his teammate there is priceless.
Good job, Adam. Good job, bro.
To go back to this idea that, you know, a guy like Scuba or Brock or Mata can be so good back on the Americas stage. You know, you can be a great player in Americas, but you don't enter that conversation of swing NRG up with the Outlaw. I can only imagine what he's going to do with that weapon.
Oh, we won't have to imagine for long. He's going to have this aggressive A line. Meanwhile, the Viper wall from NRG across the middle of the map.
And he's been taking the Outlaw into mid more often than not. The A line might be a bit of a surprise.
Inman here might be too, but that knife will tag. They're going to try to split out onto B. The Paranoia will provide a little cover, but he didn't get tagged, and so it's traded back, and Mako's there.
Down mid.
So all of a sudden, this hit starts to stall out.
Where is
Starts to
Scuba
lose a little
going?
bite. Yeah, and Scuba's gone exploring with the spike. He cannot get caught here.
It's so major that Flashback doesn't find him. Scuba has a chance to pop a timing that DRX have no clue could happen.
And also, if he falls with the spike, the round might be over. I mean, this is playing on a knife's edge.
There's only one guy left on the site. Freeing has to fall for NRG to win this. There's no way the timings!
He turns, he spots them. Freeing falls, and now the site is theirs. However, Flashback has arrived, switching over to a Phantom. 3 more targets waiting as the flank shows up from Bane a little bit further away. But should arrive just on time. NRG looking to tie us up. looking to potentially take us to Lotus.
Last
But
player
DRX in a
standing.
spot to play spoiler. Flashback in a 1v3. 23 and 15 so far. And we'll need 3 more to pull this one off. That's his one, but 30 HP. The possibility, the opportunity, it dwindles, it fades away. And with that, Flashback takes a step back. He's saving the gun, he's getting out. NRG will tie us up.
The presence of mind there from Scuba after the disaster that happened in mid for NRG to gamble it up into spawn. I mean, that is as risky a play as you can make, right? That is a play that you will get laughed at forever if you die with that spike in spawn. There's no way to recover that. The round is over. But sometimes, desperate times call for desperate measures. That's exactly what was asked of Scuba in that round. And it was that decision that won it for NRG.
Enemy remaining.
It's a fine line between infamy and and something much greater. And oh. But alas, they avoid that disaster. They tie us up at 11. Flashback has the op. We talked about it, and look at where he's posted up right now. Look at where NRG is. They're going right into the teeth of it. Immediately flashed, immediately pushed back. And now they're going to speed up, give them a bit of their own medicine. Flashback strikes. And he's going to double dip. He's sticking around, has no choice, digs his heels in. Connects onto Ethan, and Bane is here. Flashback gets another. Only one way through, and that's forward for Flashback. He's gonna pop the flash, shorty in hand. A second set of Bane pushes it out and pays for it with his life. And NRG avoid that mess. Look at their health bars. Slivers,
Spike planted.
scraps. But hope dies last.
Player standing.
The swing out and Som connects. Mako in a 1v3. Again, as storied as he is, once again, travels the world and now has a chance to play for the crown, to play for the throne, to push DRX past NRG, but he's saving, he's out of the play, he's cutting his losses, he's tucking tail.
It's another round DRX are forced to save, and another round where it feels like they have no chance to get back into the site. NRG winning with numbers. This is a far cry from what we saw previously. DRX stealing rounds away, DRX winning handedly, and NRG limping out with a round win. This is now an NRG in control.
Match point.
And this is now an NRG that has pulled off another comeback on the attacking side. They're figuring things out on the fly, which is something that eluded them in the past, and this is in the face of, I mean, Flashback was a proper menace.
Oh yeah.
In that entire round. Did his damnedest to get them that far, but NRG rattle off 4 in a row.
Exactly, and by winning those rounds in a row, they now no longer have to worry about the operator. NRG scrounging something together here, but mid is the focus.
Mata has an outlaw 4 members with light armor on the defense. Oh. Missing the pick.
I'd imagine, yeah, there's a gun waiting for him in B main, so he
Yeah.
can switch over to that after he takes some peeks on forward.
Yeah, but for now, double outlaw in the hands of them.
That's just a good read, knowing the light armor's on the other side. Here it comes.
Fill in behind it, love that idea, only show 1.
What it does mean, though, is the clock starts to get chewed up. NRG at some point have to ditch these guns and pick up the rifles.
Still a minute to play with. Mata has his ult, Scuba has his ult too.
By all accounts, NRG have everything they need to win the round, but it has been when NRG are vastly favored that DRX make magic happen.
And so DRX look like they'll be forced to make a final stand on B. That's where NRG are headed. Either they take us to Lotus or it's OT on the cards. Standing at the side of B, looking to storm the gates. The ult's out to dash through. I think Mata got tagged.
Uh-oh, Doug. This flank is quick. 2 players coming in very, very soon. DRX have NRG surrounded. But there's no way out but forward.
But they're scaling forward, you're absolutely right. Looking to take that elbow fight. We'll see if the call is right. Mata falls. Freeing there at the ready. The paranoia invested too, and all of a sudden you feel the walls closing in. Claustrophobic for NRG. As they have no way out, they're forced to deal with this. They're forced to try to take this fight, and they walk away on top of 3v3. The spike ticking away, and now it's on DRX. The onus is on them. They're the ones who have to get active. Tap of the spike to force the fight. The spam comes through. Som, Shorty connects. Mako once again, a 1v3. Try to keep them alive, and he cannot. We're going the distance. We're going.
Absolutely. You know, this whole day has delivered, going the full 6 maps. And DRX, with this reinvention of self, playing the double duelist, flashback completely taking over in the previous game. This will be them playing attack on the first side for the 3rd map in a row. And to say they have been hard to deal with is an understatement.
Already dashing out onto the site. You see the suck towards spawn. You see the C's and the smoke elsewhere too. And Rock and Som filling out onto the side, able to get a couple of picks. They slammed the door on the DRX hit.
It's wild that it's just back and forth here, 3-on-3. And now by tapping the door, it forces Scuba and the rest of NRG to start shifting back into C. DRX, though, they've hit the brakes.
Oh, this
They're
is
now
beautiful.
Slowly easing on the gas, getting into this B side. It belongs to them.
A little misdirection, and NRG are caught. And so they fake their way out onto the site. They get the spike down.
Ooh, peekaboo.
And now it's going to be on NRG. The nade through, forcing the fight forward. Kills traded. And as it settles and as it gets quiet, NRG continue to push forward, continue to creep. A little bit more utility to have to deal with this. Mana gets the best of him. Bane's locked in a 1v1 with Scuba on the other side. And Bane for DRX hits it again.
I just don't understand it. No one thought he would even be playing with DRX in this tournament. And he has been so clutch, especially on these pistol rounds for the squad. An absolute animal on the Ghost. NRG didn't stand a chance.
So DRX win yet another pistol. It's the 5th of the series.
They dropped the 1 at the second half of Corrode, but converted,
4th.
of course.
They've crept up behind this wall. Trying to get cheeky with this fight. Should have no idea that flashback is there, and while they got a warning shot, it's still lethality found.
Yeah, NRG have gone for these big walk-ups on the ecos, just kind of throwing them away. Orb maxing, there it goes over to the Viper.
Kind of feel like he shouldn't have been able to get away with that, given all the guns on the other side of that wall. But alas, he succeeds. Now waiting on the other side of the door. A little ring around the Rosie. But they've given up the site, they've boxed everything in. A dink dealt. But you really see the gun difference on full display here.
Oh yeah. The small win is picking up that old orb, not just to get your ult online, but denying it. I think because DRX have been playing no misdirection, they've just been slamming sites. They have continued funneling these orbs onto flashback. It was part of why he got 3 your ults off in the first half of Corrode. NRG have honed in on.
One enemy.
But even though I don't want to say it, we do need to now look forward to round 3.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's been such a pivotal chapter of every story we've seen so far.
NRG have yet to shut down these bonus rounds. DRX are 100% on the bonuses they've had in this series, 4 for 4.
It is just Brock on the site. He does have a ton of utility around him, but it is just Brock. And so he takes a step back, buys enough time for the defenses of NRG to rotate over.
Quick Flood is the name of the game. A little trap here with the C's as well.
The nade on the other
Jungmin
side.
still gets 2!
Balls.
I mean, he was seized!
Ethan up in heaven. Cannot respond, cannot punch back, and stop me if you've heard this one before, but DRX are going to win the bonus.
It's not as if NRG don't have ideas. There's a C's going down. They've got Util connecting. Hyunmin is decayed off that C's down to no HP. Still gets 2 kills. It's just unfathomable that the duelists on DRX's side can fight their way out of these massively unfavored situations, and to be able to do it so consistently as well.
What did they have, two rifles in that round?
Yeah, they had the scraps upgraded from the previous round as well, maybe a couple of Guardians, but there's just no way.
Som saves his Vandal into the next round. But these woes, these bonus woes continue for NRG. And I mean, I guess you could, yeah.
Man, Mata's trying to pop in on him. And you just see the patience out of Hyunmin. Full tracking on that.
Yeah. And honestly, Hyunmin almost got a third.
Just wild stuff.
A Vandal, a Bucky, a Stinger.
They are terrible.
In the face of essentially full strength for DRX. Hyunmin's one off of his ult already.
Yep. The fast cycling here is just on full display. There you have it. It's online.
And that was the rifle. I mean, it's going to get picked up, but maybe Brock can make that thing sing a little bit more.
It's frustrating too. Must be for the NRG camp when DRX can play the quick rounds and then pump the brakes a little bit, punish you as you're stepping forward on top of that orb.
It's got to feel so uncomfortable, right?
Yeah. Mako's done a really good job of adjusting the pace throughout this entire series. I think that's been the main thing. I think earlier you said, what, whiplash?
Yeah.
With how, you know, it's just exec, painfully slow crawl into a site.
And then just when you think you can lull to sleep, they pound the site once more.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
Hyunmin goes in, Hyunmin goes out, and DRX get the kills. Oh! 3 for Bane. DRX get to 4.
Again, that angle from the bottom of sight up into heaven, DRX have just destroyed NRG twice in a row. And that's the type of damage that you can do to a team where it's like, all of a sudden, well, we were planning on doing the quick floods. I mean, brother.
My ultimate is
that even came in before the taunt pained everyone.
Yeah.
But back-to-back rounds like that could change NRG's approach. Are we retaking more from stairs now? Are we trying to hold on to tree? You all of a sudden start doubting your own protocols to get back into the site.
You have a C's nade. Or excuse me, there's an I nade, and they don't really commit into it either. Meanwhile, they're going fast B. The paranoia is already out. The double dash is through, and Brock keeps him back. I feel like that's the first time we've seen Hyunmin punished like that.
Yeah, this reminds me of that Haven round where they try to sprint up into the B site. Now, with Fring dropping as well, it gets messy. DRX are trying to play both B and A. Insert some chaos into the thick of things, but all it's done is leave them with 3 members alive.
And so they quietly rotate back to the other side of the map. You still have a little bit of ice utility here. Wall, Thorns as well. And Scuba close by.
Yeah, there's even the Viper Orb as well in the choke point there, so very likely DRX want to poke their head into C site, create some pressure, bait out the wall, get some gas going, and maybe that opens up a lurk opportunity up front B.
I think they were looking for the wall B with the clone. They find out that it's not there by process of elimination. You understand? No, wait a second. This should be here. Flashback tag, TP's away, and there's the wall. So that should tell them exactly where the hit is headed.
30 seconds.
NRG already have players here. 2 as a matter of fact, and Scuba will play things slow. It's going to be a full-on retake. NRG looking to abuse numbers.
Meanwhile, Flashback looking to take the fight to them, not allowing them to settle. But Scuba swings out onto the site, covers into their backs. And Brock gets another one. Bane, a 1v4. Good luck. That's 2. 9 bullet. No! Bane does it again! The Red Bull clutch as DRX steals another one away.
Who is this guy?
We thought Hyunmin was the problem going into this map. A new challenger has entered the stage, and that's Bane.
This guy was sitting on the bench all of stage 2. DRX brought in a ringer to Paris. A 4K on the round. Shutting out NRG. Now sits 11-0.
Nice!
I can't believe it. You talk about superstars wanting to make a name for themselves. You talk about an organization looking for higher and higher aspirations. The 2-0 in the group to make it through. You instantly are a conversation starter.
A 5-0 start on map 3. Off of the backs of a ringer. 11-0, still more to find. And now Flashback gets involved.
And this was out of the timeout. NRG forcing light armor and Guardians. Now already down a man. And one of the worst players to lose as well. That's all your information gone. Your in-game leader at 0-6.
Brutal start for him. Flashback pops his ult, goes exploring C. Procs the wall too, and look at the minimap. Starting to rotate over. Mata spotted, pops his ult, but nobody's home!
It is just a difference. Maybe the door being tapped, Mata might find something, but it goes wide. DRX
Your fear.
dancing on NRG in this round.
Slow down.
Perfect calling, smooth on the entry from Flashback, and now a 5v4
30
post.
seconds left.
And still a spotless stat line from their fade. The nade through, and now Yeoman's gonna pop his own ult to make matters even worse. I mean, you buy a little bit of time off of the Vice ult, but for what? Flashback falls, but there's Bane again, striking! Gets two, stays alive! The man is invincible! He cannot die!
Unkillable! Even when there's no chance he should be able to stay alive, his teammates are right there to have his back. It's a statement of an opener. Mata thinks there's players up here on either side, you'd have to expect, but DRX are just using the Prowler as bait. Hey, the fact that it's even Bane's Prowler eating up Mata's ultimate there is insult to injury to his impact in the server.
13-0. This has to be one of the greatest starts we've ever seen on the international stage.
Absolutely.
I'm hard-pressed to think of a better one. They very well might be. Fortunately, we have infinitely smarter people behind the scenes who are able to confirm that for us, but again, hard-pressed. But NRG, once again, will have to find a way to come back from behind.
Yeah, they've got the pistols, and really what they need to be thinking about is who's going to be their guy. If DRX can just look at Bane and he'll wheel around into existence in a 1v4, NRG needs someone to be able to do the same. Not again. The Jiggles punished once more. Different guy with the Outlaw. This time it's freeing. Same result.
I mean, if the hand is hot, swing out, take the fight. Bane draws out the Paranoia too. Infinitely more valuable when you're on an eco. Brock has no shot. Scuba has no shot. Wait, they haven't seen him. They haven't seen him. They haven't seen him. Gets two. Still more work to be done though. Flashed up. Falls. And now Sam's left in this 1v3. And once again, Bane plays the position of Mortician, gets another, and the DRX train rolls on.
Ever forward, it goes. I think it's time to seriously ask who will be that guy for NRG. Right now they've only got 2 players with more than a single kill to their name. And if you want to look at the history, okay, Ethan, champs winner, he could be your guy. If you want to look at this year, Mata, dominant. If you want to look at this tournament, it could be Scuba. But it's got to be someone.
Brother, Bane alone has more kills than all of NRG combined.
I mean, he's averaging 2 kills a round right now on Fade.
Sam gets involved. The Odin provides some problems. That nade's going to be good.
Could it be Mata with the operator? Ethan holding down on stairs as well.
Up, just off the mark. But he's going to get a shot at it again. This is a miserable spot to be in. Do they realize they've lost full control of this? They do. Mata connects.
Spike down A.
Now the spike is scooped back up. Brock's going to try to fill in. Missing the spam window, but knows where he is. Easy kill found. And barring a miracle from freeing, NRG will get there first. 49 HP. The question is, how disciplined does he choose to be? Brock on the tap, he's got the spam line. But Brock does too.
Okay. A little bit by committee in that round. Everyone getting theirs.
Yeah, you take it how you can get it, man.
And it's gone unsaid today, but it is worth pointing out how
Nice, Brock. Up, down, backside. Let's go.
how unbreakable NRG's mental has been in this tournament. You think about that 11-2 comeback down against EDG on Abyss.
Yeah.
Fighting through that one. A close second map here after getting dominated back on Haven. They have shown the ability to hold their own even when the odds are seemingly insurmountable.
Double Odin setup here for the defense.
Finally, better late than never. This was the signature look for NRG in Americas, but it's been 9 rounds before they can have the money to get it online here.
Tap of the door. And a dog to clear out C main, and so what? I mean, they can accelerate on the other side of this. Hyunmin just grabbed his ult. And they're threatening to hit C. But they don't have to commit to this. They still have map control elsewhere.
I mean, DRX would love to be able to pull out one of these ultimates. Think about the Steel Garden here, or the Nightfall. Big ultimates that NRG want to use proactively to stop a hit by putting down this lurk smoke on the top of site. Starts making NRG consider these things, although that deeper Vise wall, it's a little tougher for DRX to break, and without it broken, there's no reason for NRG to pull the trigger on any of their ults.
Do you think they could also rotate away, perhaps, given the knowledge of that passive information? But no, they're deciding to double down on C. That smoke might send them into motion.
30 seconds.
Nada's got the op. Ooh, rare miss. They're going to end B. The paranoia is out. They break the door. Hyunmin pops his ult. But it's traded back by the Steel Garden.
20 seconds.
They're really burning this candle at both ends here. Mata satchels away. They try to fill in onto the spike. The spike hits the ground as Ethan tries to hold the line on his own. Flashback pushes the pace. And Hyunmin grabs the spike, sinks it into the soil of the site, but Sam is there over the top. Mako in the face of 3, make that 2. And the suppressive fire might just be too much. Sam gets it to half, waits it out. 51 HP into the swing. Brock gets 3. NRG will get their second.
Brock has quietly had a couple of hugely impactful rounds for the team. 2 kills in the previous, now 3, switching around from every single gun in the game. It
10
sounds.
seconds left.
First with this Odin, trying to lay down the covering fire for his teammates.
One enemy.
Brock up! Brock up! You know.
The Brock up. Maybe he'll be the guy.
Now we wait.
11-7. I mean, he's certainly performing like it.
Now we wait.
And the thing about these tournament runs is that, yeah, it doesn't always have to be conventional. And for the teams that do hit deep runs, there is always someone that steps up. And you're right, maybe it is Brock. Still yet to be seen, but a great start for him.
Spam on opposite ends of the map there. Not connecting on much damage, apart from Fring.
My ult's ready.
Flashback gets his ult. Bane is one off of his. They're going to fully send C, aren't they?
NRG have 4 players here ready to quickly get back into the site.
I'm back.
They're not even getting those early fights that they were getting in the first 2 maps. That ult is going to cause problems, though. They were so far up, it's certainly going to stall them out. And with that time window, Bane gets the spike down.
Here it comes.
Now the Nightfall's traded back. They can't hear a damn thing. And off of that, they creep out onto the site. Denied one of their senses. Mata connects. Hyunmin looking to tag. Cannot. Everybody huddled in. Side by side, looking to take these fights, and it's DRX who look like they're coming out on top of Scuba trades. A 2v2 now, and time is short. They've got to find their way into this if they're going to do it. Can Brock pull this off? Drops down, takes the fight, finds his one, but
Time!
I don't think he's going to have enough.
This is bullshit.
And it's Mako who can just wait it out. He's got to stick it. Mako connects.
I love the setup there from DRX. One of the signatures of how NRG play with these Odins is just constantly spamming out and denying the planter from getting the spike down. But because they use that forward Steel Garden, it takes the Odins out of NRG's hands, means they can actually afford to plant the spike and then get themselves in these positions on site where this smoke actually affords a lot of space for DRX to play behind. And they always had that insurance of Mako playing into Mound in case their players ended falling.
Flashback already tagged by the spam to open the round. NRG are getting curious. They're getting active. Ooh, what a snap.
And you think back to Haven, when NRG didn't have the answers. It was about just going at DRX, these walks. And Mata's confidence to take the fights. It gives NRG a numbers advantage. But when we get into the post plan, it'll still be awkward. DRX don't have so much tools to fight for because the flashes have been taken away with the Yoru falling early on.
Mako doesn't have his ult.
They're still fighting in water.
Mata pops his ult, gets the kill. So that'll buy a little bit of time. Die too.
NRG needs some pressure coming back in from water, otherwise they're going to get permanently stalled into choke, but they're so worried. Now the spike hasn't gone down yet, so they have the time to regroup. Now 3 players advance to deal with Mako.
Sam has his flash. But they're contacting up. That's danger. Mako looking to stand tall, eventually falls. Freeing's left in a 1v3.
Flash trap destroyed.
A long-awaited paranoia just off the mark. The dog invested 2 to spot the last remaining member of DRX. NRG will get to 3.
That was a lot better without those ultimates into the mix of things. NRG could slow things down. Be a lot more controlled on the reclear. Good opening kill from Mata. Also has the showstopper. I also think he's consistently been finding value with his paint shells. He's gotten some kills, yeah, but mostly it's about forcing players to swing back into him. Him and his teammates holding it firm.
Now we wait.
Last round of the half. Brock one off of his ult. And Hyunmin has his, but the buy is not great for DRX.
Yeah, it's real scuffed. 2 rifles for them, and NRG seem to want to contest up in A main again. Throwing similar utility, but this time breaking the door. I guess DRX just ripped this exec once more. Hyunmin's got the ult, why not?
I mean, it's gotten them to this point. There's the double dash. Ooh, tagged up.
Planting the spike is the real challenge, though, with the Odins. DRX this time don't have that threat of fighting forward. Now the ultimate comes down.
Sees nade. Mako swinging out.
Spike planted.
And they use that ult to guarantee the spike being planted. But what is the next layer? Because there's a lurk in mid, there's a wall holding it, now Mako's fallen.
And we're due for Bedlam on the site once more. The wall is proc, but all eyes forward. Just in case there wasn't enough chaos, a couple rounds to go, a triple swing! Hyunmin playing on the other side of the smoke will get popped. There's not much left for DRX. I mean, they didn't really have the guns to begin with, but now swinging out onto it, Freeing left in a 1v3. And the defuse will come through. Who was the spark for NRG? It was Brock.
Round after round, Brock has been building back into this half. NRG are down by 4 rounds, but they have started this momentum building. And it all comes down after this.
Die. No charges.
Yes! Man! Come on.
It wasn't for him.
Absolutely. And it's funny, too, because back home in Americas, the other players on NRG are constantly stealing the limelight.
Yeah.
But in this, the most important game NRG have played all year, he has delivered.
Fast out of B. And NRG are there to greet. A dog to pave the way. And Hyunmin was not able to find anything.
Could it be a second pistol in this series for NRG? They didn't even take too much damage on the backside of that either. A couple of sheriffs in their hands, only Mako on this side of the map.
Careful here.
And at that, playing a passive position, nobody inside of tree, so NRG are going to have free reign to play this post plant up numbers.
Paranoia out, the satchel through, they've taken the site. Brock is left to hold the line. Spotting Mako, snaps his head back. Beautifully done.
Interesting plant for backside here. NRG threatened up the rope, now doubled up in drop.
I may have gotten a couple of tags if I'm not mistaken. So now flashback pushing forward. Finding a weak, soft spot. And now Bane's up in heaven,
Standing.
put away. Flashbacks left in a 1v3. With the Sheriff in hand, Ethan's getting curious. He swings out a little bit ahead of it and gets the kill.
So what is that, 2 pistols, 1 on the day for NRG?
Yeah, I mean, I think they've solved the best way to not lose the bonus is to just win the pistol.
Well, let's calm down. The last time they won a pistol, they promptly lost the round fight after.
Sure.
And I'm looking at their econ choices. The last time they had won it, of course, they went for 2 rifles and a stinger. Seems to be the same approach this time. They must make sure, and they're running into a stack as well.
Oh, surely Lightning won't strike again.
It's a bait setup.
Freeing. I just got dropped as soon as he popped his head up.
But that was his job, was to go die and make it look like no one's home. There are 4 players stacked on this site. I think very reserved calling out of Ethan. Calls to slow things down. Let's scout this up. We've got Prowlers to check the close corners.
They're doubling down. They're committing onto this. They've put the wall behind them. They're going C.
But they have the Prowlers. Now they know.
That nade is going to be a mess. Mata gets his kill. There's one more there, but he's so weak. A stiff breeze would knock him over. Brock gets 3. It's a flawless round for NRG.
That is classy calling out of Ethan right there. Not taking a chance, not letting it slip away like it had back on Corrode. No, here, locks in, takes things slow. Reads exactly what Maka's going to be doing on the other side.
Enemy remaining. Loading.
2 out of 3 kills for Brock. He didn't even see him.
Yeah.
That's perfect. A 19 and 10 for him.
Why not? And now they buy up into 4 rifles on this round. Could be the start of something.
Flashback hits the cross. Manages to avoid the eye, but immediately tagged up. Has to TP away.
Saw him actually quick up on front B. A lot of pressure going down. With 5 light armors, Flashback's outlaw is going to be devastating.
Dog tags him once more. Once again, the site has to be given up. The space relinquished. Flashback with the line, a tap. Once more of the spike. Finally goes down.
He's just daring someone on NRG to swing him. Give him a chance, take that fight, but NRG have bundled up into Bend. Gonna force DRX to come into them.
There's not a ton of space on the site. They're gonna try to bully him off of it. But NRG not taking a step back. Deciding to fight with strength, fight with numbers. Sam gets his 2, but the flash messes everything up. Scuba joins in.
Last player standing.
It's all on Mako, a 1v3. And I don't think he can pull this one off. NRG get a bonus of their own. The gap is now 1.
Exactly what they needed. And I think NRG have maybe found something here. They don't have to fight so aggressively. There's not so much utility that DRX have to actually push them out of Bend. You know, there's not a paint shell like Mata had every single time on the C retake. Yeah, there might be that saturate, slow down out of the waylay. But oftentimes that's being used earlier in rounds.
Man. Let's go. Let's go.
Bit tempered there out of Psalm, surprises me.
Tempered but resolute. I think that was my takeaway from one of the veterans on this team who's been on this stage, who's competed internationally. Aggressor from DRX, they've taken A main control, and NRG gladly just rotate away.
Yeah, NRG move away from the 1 gun on DRX. Still need to keep things clean.
Easier said than done. Satchel's out onto the site. Mod is there, turns the flash. Cannot connect, but traded back.
Great cover from Psalm.
He's been a rock for this team.
And yeah, no reason to overheat into the site. Again, very tempered approach. NRG can call these pauses. Sheffield's got a really good grasp. Trusting his teammates there. Slow it down, move back over to the A side. I mean, DRX has rotated every single player they had on to C on an eco round like this. And once again, Ethan navigates his team into an empty A site finish.
Yeah, beautifully read. Even min-maxing, getting Ethan to get the spike down. Will have his nightfall in this round, presumably to use in the next.
Spike planted.
DRX realize that the rug has been pulled out from under them. So they all try to rotate over. I mean, do they commit into this fight? I mean, I guess why not? Not really the DRX way to try otherwise.
Wow.
And that's going to cross the Nightfall just on the other side of the eye. Hyunmin's able to get one. No weapon. Oh, there is a weapon upgraded. Excuse me. Scoob on the swing. And who else but the steady hands of Brock to put one away? But Bane can't continue. Cannot convert. We're tied.
It is dead even here. DRX stole away to a 7-0 lead. And since that moment, 8-1 in NRG's favor. NRG are the comeback kings here in Paris. They did it to EDG. And have now brought it back closed for a spot out of groups on the line. Toy with that possibility, or even have that front B pressure of opening doors so they can refight into Mount by flipping that switch and pinching back through. I'd like to see a world where it doesn't always come down to the retakes for DRX.
Up in the hands of Flashback.
Yeah. Playing the angle towards Bend, and as a matter of fact, it will be that waylay creeping up front B. Falls away from it, though, because there wasn't enough pressure really seen out anywhere else on the map, so I think Hyunmin was perhaps worried that the inevitable pop could be coming, and it's good game sense out from him, because that's exactly what Ethan is heading for.
They're expecting a little bit of aggression here.
Yeah.
There.
Oftentimes, DRX, when they're denied a lot of rounds, they'll try to seize back control themselves with a fast play or a walk-up.
Yeah.
They haven't given that to NRG this time. I think a lot of that is due to the fact that Flashback's got the operator, Mata's got the attack op himself too, so both these teams just waiting for an over-eager player. And a jiggle peek, shots fired on the A side.
Yeah, who's the first to get antsy? Who's the first to make a misstep?
It's a pinch in to be door broken down. Mako's gonna hear it, but it's not nearly enough information. Keep your eyes on Hyunmin in heaven.
He did not get tagged by that ult. He's gonna have a chance at this fight. We'll buy a little bit of time with the hinder, but the spit keeps the RX back. And now they're gonna flood out.
Mata!
This is their fast, but Mata takes the fight to them. Now they're gonna try to flood in. Can they get past the dam? They've busted it down. DRX looking to take the site back. Bane and Mako trying to do their best, but it's Mata in a 1v1. 30 HP. The op in hand. Tries to find the shot, but it's just off the mark. Pushes with the shorty, forced to reload, and Mako stands tall.
The rookie versus the vet. It's the veteran who comes out on top in Mako. They're evenly matched. It's op v op, it's pistol v pistol. But Mata didn't have the health. And Mako hunted him down. The utility on this retake, beautiful. The flashes, the hunt. Giving wonderful information over to DRX. But it still came down to that one-on-one moment. And it's in the clutch like that where a player who has lived on this stage for 5 years will thrive.
Remember, we talked earlier in the series about how those moments are often the difference makers when you're talking about two teams of this caliber. Keep that fresh of mind. A lean A from the attack.
So what do NRG do? Slow round in the previous, now it's the gas over towards A. Good hold now from DRX. These Thorns will do well to stall out NRG and bring in the rotators.
Gosh, that Nightfall's gonna hit 4.
That's a huge amount invested right at the start of the round.
Yeah, sure. Plenty of time to freeze, plenty of time to reset, right for it.
But the problem is, over on C, whereas previous rounds, DRX have been quick to rotate, Flashback's operator awaits.
Oh gosh, he's gonna get challenged. The hand!
Time to jump.
He blows Ethan's hand right off. Now Flashback takes a quick step back. Mata trying to get a little revenge. Shows a hand of his own, and it's ill-advised. Flashback alone might have won them this round. but we've mentioned it, you never count NRG out. The paranoia through. Spike should get out onto the site. Freeing was there to clean him up. Brock in a 1v4.
Not a chance. So sharp out of flashback. And it almost feels like NRG forgot how good this guy was back on Corrode. Right in the elbow. Centimeters the difference in this round. If Ethan lives, NRG can scale up in the round. They can play the round they wanted. Instead, Mata's forced to try and take matters into his own hands. Flashback is there to punish him. Actually, looks to me like B is going to be the area of attack for NRG.
Time to work.
But this could get messy. With DRX having 3 players in sand, they could open up the door and pinch back into NRG.
This looks so fast. The flash on the other side. Meanwhile, a fight on both fronts.
Wow.
Mata's the one who wins it out. Weathering the storm. And then they speed up B.
Unbelievable. NRG still have lurkers on each side of the map, too. So the slower this retake is, the better it looks for NRG. DRX must act quickly.
They're going to scale up. Remember, Mata took that aggro heaven fight and won it.
It's all about putting this pressure down. Mata needs to show that force up into heaven to buy time for his lurkers to activate, to regroup back with the team.
Love that nade. Actually drops it back. Trying to take this fight. Flashback. Beautiful flash. Beautiful kill. Flashback gets another. DRX snatched the site out of their hands. The 2 lurkers that you mentioned are going to show up too little, too late. Scuba's going to try his best, but he will fall. DRX get to 11.
Just a picture-perfect retake out of DRX. And it seemed like NRG didn't even know what to do with the site once they had it. It seemed like it was too easy for them to get on there. The speed at which they took it and then fight up into heaven meant there was no time for their lurkers to go anywhere. And they're both quaking in their boots, not wanting to walk into flashbacks off. Bane with the operator, taking the fight in B main, and we're right back into it. C mount fight.
There's the eye. It's the same look from the previous round. But this time, no aggro Yoru follow-up behind the Waylay TP.
NRG moving back to A. A round they'd have to dig deep. This is the one you can't let slip away. And for DRX to have another chance to make it out of groups, continue that flawless streak going. This is the one to do it. Eyes on Fring, who's now called in flashback, called in 2 members. To hold arm in arm. Here comes the hit.
Fring clearing the eye. Flashback! But NRG punch back, and now they drop a pit of their own. Things slow down.
No, it doesn't. The Waylay ultimate, NRG, hold their ground.
Yeah, but it went towards heaven. They weren't funneling behind it. And now Brock has the Odin. Brock has the Odin. And whenever that's in play, NRG have a chance.
This time, NRG are ready. That quick rotate from DRX. They tried to filter 3 players back into the site. NRG shut it down beautifully. And I mean, even getting the Waylay ult on the other side is just the cherry on top to the round. Because now, in crunch time, we're looking at 11 rounds to 9. We're looking at 4 more rounds to play in regulation. The ultimates are the talking point. And you look at DRX, okay, Omen ult, whatever. We're 1 off of your ult. They'll have 1 big round, but Bane is far off. The rest of the team is far away. NRG have Ethans for the next round. Brock and Mata both 3 off. This is where they can start to string these back to back to back. Build off of these ultimates to win the critical gun buys. Those swing rounds at the end of the half.
Mako had no idea what hit him. Brock's positioning there was just so good. And Bane met a similar fate. And so now a timeout is called from the defensive side.
Yep. That have that drive to get the job done. And the job's not done right now. This is the round that will swing it all. And Flashback has the operator. Mound has been his domain, but Mata shuts him out!
He had a shot at it too, try snapping up, cannot connect. And now, full gas forward. Prowler out, Satchel through, but the paranoia in exchange for Mako might be good enough. Mata gets clocked, clothesline, and so connects with the up. Freeing into 1v3. Ethan gets a spike down. Brock delivers. NRG get to 10.
It's mayhem! What a call out from NRG. They know this operator's been seized, so they call for the boost up play. That's not a haunt. He's not playing on information. That is him seeing for just a half second. Flashback on the other side. And then the speed up into the rest of the site. Everything is working for NRG.
They thrust their star in a position to make a play, and now look at the buy for DRX. It's horrid.
The one saving grace, DRX didn't end up using the dimensional drift, so we'll have that for the next round. But, as I said, Ray's ult online. They can use it to guarantee this if they must. To bring things back to even.
No real information of what's happening elsewhere on the map.
This is a tough round to call. NRG have a very close wall behind them guarding their flanks. They tap the door to threaten B. They have no lurk or anything to pivot back to in the round. They were hoping not to meet this same level of resistance on the C site.
And the truth is they don't fully understand what's on the other side.
This is tough. Now there is a Seize, there's Prowlers, there's the paint shells from Auto. We saw this against the stack DRX had back on the Eco. This time they're playing more spread.
Yeah, maybe the benefit is that the two Buckies that are on the board are not there. But it's still Stingers and it's still DRX. Flashback has to get out. The rocket not connecting. But they're trying to force their way out onto the site. Mata playing around it. Som fills in. And now it's just the two Buckies that remain. Hyunmin down to 5 HP. The dust settles. And it's NRG in full control. But DRX never counted out. Looking for a free one with the Bucky. A stray bullet. Chance. But it's not there. NRG pull off another comeback. Ender, I can't believe I'm saying this. We're tied.
11-11, the score. And we always knew this was going to be an interesting matchup. Both these teams following very different trajectories. NRG on the up and up, DRX bombing out in Stage 2 playoffs. But at the end of the day, these are two squads built around a key veteran. Ethan versus Mako, the IGLs. And then so much fresh blood, young talent. And it's been the young talent that has been stepping up, and it will be the young talent to determine which of these two squads will advance.
Flashback with the op. Hyunmin tries to TP away and he's caught.
One of those names drops in a pivotal round.
But there's another rookie who can step up. There's another young blood who can fill in.
And Flashback has not shown this look. Pushed up into A lobby. He has destroyed NRG when they try to re-clear him. They have not succeeded to do so.
Crosshair heavy.
Cutting through.
Position given away.
He's once more!
You lunatic!
He's nuts!
Punishes Ethan!
He has had Ethan's number all day long.
The only numbers that really matter right now are the four headed towards C, though. Paranoia will buy a little bit of time, but doesn't connect on to everyone. And now the Visol to buy a little space. Green might not have been tagged. Oh, he was. So they're going to get the site for free.
It'll be a 4-on-4 retake, but Flashback has the dimensional drift. He will have full information of where NRG are playing. They will have to fight out against all odds.
He's got a shorty. Pops the ult. Ventures forth. Looking to pick a target. Looking for a name to claim. And it's Bane who falls first, and there it is! Som's the one who falls! NRG still with the numbers advantage. Mako so far away from the play. It's Flashback on his own. 3 on the round. Scuba puts him out. NRG gets a series point.
They did it in their global debut against EDG. And now, teetering on the precipice, NRG, the surprise team of Stage 2. From disappointing finishes in kickoff and Stage 1,
Nice!
to the roster shuffle, to Ethan stepping into the IGL role, and now to Brock, 27 and 15. One more round is all they need.
Everyone around the world asking, when do NRG die? When have they had enough? When will they fold? Yet they find themselves up around. They find themselves at C once more. They find themselves staring down 3 members of DRX, a full bed of utility, and a tap of the door.
And things aren't pretty for DRX. You see a couple of stingers. You see a judge in Mako's hand.
Bring them down.
Flashback is the sole Vandal for the team. And he's been the hero. He's in the right spot right now. NRG want to go for another C-pop. And he is here and waiting.
They're committing out onto this. They're doubling down on it. But it's still just a push and pull. It's a pump break. And so
Only one player actually tagged on that.
yeah, and now they can speed up. They're gonna have the C side if they go. And go they do. Freeing. Wrapped around, he falls. Mata gets 2. The young star looking to push NRG there. Questions about when they die have been, they will continue to go unanswered. NRG proved